Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching KTN Prime, and we continue on with the developing story. Now, the fourth phase of recovery of bodies from shallow graves at the Shakahola forest officially began on Monday as the government recovered more graves that are suspected to contain multiple bodies. The new revelation comes as a Senate committee continues to probe, among others, the Shakahola land tussle, with the Ministry of Lands ruling out that Mackenzie owns any parcel at the vast forest. Our reporter Grace Nganga gives us the details.
The government has discovered 40 new mass graves in the vast Shakahola forest as phase 4 of the exhumation exercise resumed on Monday, with 339 lives lost so far. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki, while in Meru County for the official opening of the Deputy County Commissioner's office in Igoji Sub-County, said the 40 graves which are yet to be exhumed are suspected to be containing multiple bodies.
Wale viongozi wa makanisa ama dini ambao wanafikiria tutakubalia eti kwa sababu kuna haki ya kuabudu kuwe na tukio lingine kama lile la Shakahola, hao wajue hatutalegeza kamba.
And this mystery depends over Paul Mackenzie's claim to Shakahola forest land. Lands and Physical Planning Principal Secretary General Nixon Korir has said the land where Pastor Paul Mackenzie of Good News International Church stands is owned by Chakama Ranching Company Limited, which owns 50,000 acres of the ranch.
Where Shakahola sits on is the land that is registered under Chakama Ranching Company Limited. Unless Chakama Ranching Company Limited gave Mackenzie a lease or a sublease, which was not registered, from our records, the land where Mackenzie was sitting on is Chakama Ranching.
Appearing before the Senate ad hoc committee probing Shakahola deaths, Korir further said there are no official records to show that Mackenzie owns any piece of the land, where hundreds of bodies of cult victims were recovered, revealing how the controversial preacher took advantage of the unclaimed land.
We don't have any engagement with Mackenzie, and there is no any lease that has been processed. Even on the documentation that we provided, there is nowhere that Mackenzie has been entered as one of the beneficiaries of this land. Part of the reason that contributed to the massacre that happened in Shakahola is that the fact that that land was unoccupied and there was no settlement clause, so that they could alert the authorities of what was happening.
In his submissions, Korir, who appeared on behalf of CS Zakaria Njeru, said that the land where the Shakahola massacre happened was unoccupied and is part of the 50,000 Chakama Ranch, whose lease expires in 2029 and is expected to be reverted back to the government.
What normally happens, Chair, is that when you are given a lease, unless someone else applies for that lease and brings out the conditions that you've not met the conditions that were given on this lease normally stands until it expires. Then now when it reaches the time of renewal is when now the ministry can say they're not going to renew because you did not meet ABCD. But as at stand, I am not privy to any information of anyone who had applied for the list for the Chakama Ranching to be cancelled.
Last week, while appearing before the committee, Chakama Ranching Company Limited said that it has never interacted with Mackenzie nor sold him any portion of the 100,000 acre of land. It was also revealed that the government, which had purchased 50,000 acres of the land to settle squatters, managed to issue title deeds to 2,898 beneficiaries in two phases, one in 2012 and another in 2017, most of who have never set foot on the land. Grace Nganga, KTN News, Nairobi.
All right, thank you, Grace, for that update. In other news, hundreds